Okay, so for this one, we're going to be talking about a method for giving feedback on a unit of work that doesn't require direct teacher instruction again. So what this requires from students is that they have a completed piece of writing, in this case, a essay on a language analysis piece. So for that, again, I'll take you through a bit of the structure. So they'll be assigned an article, which will be provided to them via an LMS of our choosing. And then I'll provide them a video of me not reading aloud the article, because that would be redundant, of course, but doing my own annotation and my own metacognition, my own thinking aloud, my own worked example of that article. So I would use a document camera for that would sit above the article, and it would be me thinking aloud things like, oh, that's an interesting section. I wonder why the author has done that. That's definitely an example of alliteration. I wonder why they're using alliteration in this text. I wonder who the intended audience groups are for this article. Doing that sort of metacognition. And then the idea, of course, is that the students do that independently, and then they watch the metacognition annotation after the fact. And they're sort of, again, we're trying to trigger their error alarm. What differences can they see between the job that they did, their worked example, and my worked example, and trying to get them to pick up any misconceptions or any errors that they have made. So that's step one. They've got their article, it's annotated. And then what you need to require from them is that they write their own written response, so their own language analysis, an essay, 2 to 3 pages, depending on the year level, of course, and they have a piece from there. And then I have a very complicated rubric for my students, and each element of the rubric has a series of videos describing how you achieve well on that element. So as an example, audience specificity is one of the categories. So students need to not simply say the reader of this text will be convinced of something, but rather they need to say what group is specifically impacted by that. So if they've made that common misconception that I've obviously noticed from many years of expertise teaching English, then there's a series of videos depending on which level they are at for that response. So this is, again, feedback that I don't personally need to deliver because it already sits there as an artifact, and I can simply direct the students that need that particular intervention to that video, and then their task is to respond to that video and make an updated piece in response to the feedback that has been delivered via video. So again, that's how to approach English teaching through the lens of video and using video to expedite feedback.